Was she ugly and fat?
No. Why would? No, she's actually.
Like that. Nick's giving yes.
No,
She's implying yes.
No, I don't think.
Can I see a picture of her?
I could show you a picture.
Show me a
I'm not
picture.
going to show you a picture now.
Right now.
I'm not showing you a picture now.
Hello, America, FBI and CIA agents and fellow cult members. Welcome to another episode of OnlyFans on Trial. I'm Debrava. Now, today's reaction is on an episode of the Whatever podcast, which, for those of you who don't know, is a very popular red pill podcast hosted by Ryan Atlas. Now, usually on these podcasts, the hosts have the upper hand. But in this case, the guests turn the tables on the host only to find that Brian has feelings too. Let's check it out.
Just like normal amounts of money, like that you would.
Oh, they'll just give you money.
No, not give me money, but I'm saying
like a normal relationship.
Yeah, you take them on dates, you do shit, you live together, just normal. You said you had a 5-year relationship, so you know how much you spent on your girlfriend, right?
I think I bought her dinner once.
Help them.
I'm dead serious.
That's really
trying to think. Yeah, maybe a couple times I took her out to dinner. Maybe.
Wow.
5 years, by the way.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm a gentleman, okay?
Didn't live with her either.
I'm a gentleman.
Was she ugly and fat?
No. Why would? No, she's actually.
Wait a minute. I got to bring this back. First of all, I got to bring this back. Did he actually say that he took his girlfriend out of 5 years to dinner like twice? Hold on.
Relationship, so you know how much you spent on your girlfriend, right?
I think I bought her dinner once.
Help them.
I'm dead serious.
That's really
trying to think. Yeah, maybe a couple times I took her out to dinner. Maybe.
Wow.
5 years, by the way.
That's great.
How do you take somebody you're dating for 5 years out to dinner a couple of times? You know what's interesting is that smirk on his face. Notice the smirk on his face when he's saying this. Look at this. He's like so proud that he dated some girl for 5 years and only took her to dinner twice. Interesting. Let's see where this goes.
That's really
trying to think. Yeah, maybe a couple times I took her out to dinner. Maybe.
Wow.
5 years, by the way.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm a gentleman, okay?
Didn't live with her either.
I'm a gentleman.
A gentleman.
Was she ugly and fat?
No. Why would? No, she's actually.
Like that. Nick's giving yes.
No,
She's implying yes.
No, I don't think.
Can I see a picture of her?
I could show you a picture.
Show me a
I'm not
picture.
going to show you a picture now.
Right now.
I'm not showing you a picture now.
You're
but-
interrogating us and we interrogate you.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go pull up her fucking Instagram right now.
She's a fatty.
No, she was not.
Wait a minute. This girl is brilliant. I think this is the first time that I've ever seen an episode with a girl like this. This girl's comebacks are priceless. And actually, look how off he looks. He's so thrown off because I don't think anybody's ever done this to him on here. And her laugh, she's such a California girl. I love this.
Was she ugly and fat?
No. Why would?
Well, hold on. Let's think about it. If you have a girlfriend that you're dating for 5 years, I mean, that's pretty funny. That's a funny comeback. You say that you've only taken her to dinner twice in 5 years, and she says, was she ugly and fat? Come on, you gotta laugh at that. That's a funny comeback.
She's actually.
Like that. Nick's giving yes.
No,
She's implying yes.
No, I don't think.
Can I see a picture of her?
I could show you a picture.
Show me a
I'm not
picture.
going to show you a picture now.
This girl is priceless. She says, can I see a picture of her? He's like, I could show you a picture, but I'm not going to show you a picture now. I think that's what he said.
Can I see a picture of her?
I could show you a picture.
Show me a
I'm not
picture.
going to show you a picture now.
Right now.
Why
I'm
not?
not showing you a picture now.
You're interrogating us and we interrogate you.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go pull up her fucking Instagram right now.
She's a fatty.
Why not?
No, she was not.
Oh,
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
It was. That's the weird question.
I'll tell you this. I mean, she was thinner than you.
it's just a funny
Thinner
question.
than me.
She was thinner than you. How
Are you
about
calling me
that?
fat?
Is that what I said? What you guys talking about here?
Nothing.
Go ahead.
Nothing.
I don't know. There's been a little whispering back and forth between you two.
Can I say something? Or am I going to be yelled at? I feel like when you're having a debate with someone, I've been on a lot of podcasts in my life, even debates with friends, you start making jokes, you start fucking with the other person. And you took it and then you came at me so crazy that it like ruins the dynamic of like having like a funny.
You guys speak into the mic.
They can hear me.
Wow, he is really bothered by this. I mean, I think it's just funny. Why not just laugh at it? I mean, actually, I honestly thought he was joking. Is he joking? He's got to be joking. Let's see where this goes. Wait, he's got to be joking. You can't date somebody for 5 years and take them to dinner twice. That's not dating somebody. That's called you're an incel. What is he like on video games all day? I mean, I don't understand this. When was this? This makes no sense. This makes almost as much sense as this mute girl that's on every episode. Anybody know what the purpose of this girl over here? This girl in that hat? What is she? Who is she? Why is she there? She's never said a word. All right, let's
And
take it back.
you took it and then you came at me so crazy that it like ruins the dynamic of like having like a funny.
You guys speak into the mic.
They can hear me, by the way. I've seen a bunch of your podcasts on my For You page. When people are far away, you can hear it. But
Okay,
I'm just
that's
saying-
just, go ahead.
I know. Okay. So what I'm just saying, when you're like going back and forth and like debating, you're like with one another, you're like saying your shit back and forth, and then you take it one way and then you like make it all serious. It just like kills the vibe of like everyone having like a fun, good time and like joking around making debates. When you like spin it in like a way, you like spun it to make it like weird, and it wasn't weird. It was like when I've been on so many podcasts, even just debates with friends, and then you start taking it personally.
we
That's when it's
friends?
just. I just gave an example of podcasts, and then I also gave the example of friends, and then you start taking it personally and then make it weird and all serious. It was like nothing serious. Like, why did you make it into something where you had to like kill the vibe? Like, it was like having
Feel the vibe. Okay, so
Hold on. First of all, this girl is really good. Her timing is brilliant. So he comes at her and says, he tries to like throw her off by saying, talking to the mic. And she's like, first of all, I've seen your podcast many times. Everyone can hear me just fine. I've never seen anything like that. That is brilliant. He's trying to throw her off, and she is just not having it. Her comebacks are like spot on. Okay. Let's keep watching.
and it was fun, and we were joking around, and I was just like, it's not fun anymore.
Well,
it
this
was
is-
fun going into it.
are you going to let me respond?
Hold on. Because let me just see what she's saying here again.
Like, it was like having we were
Feel the vibe. Okay, so
did, and it was fun, and we were joking around, and I was just like, it's not fun anymore.
Well,
it
this
was
is-
fun going into it.
are you going to let me respond? Okay, so this is precisely what zero accountability looks like. First off, we don't have the level of rapport for the jokes that you made to be appropriate. In
Oh my God. What is he talking about? For anybody that's seen this, okay, he is constantly coming at all the girls on this podcast. He is rude, he's nasty, he's super disrespectful. I'm in shock that he's being this sensitive. He's like so defensive right now. It's shocking, actually, to see him lose control like this. This is very interesting. And hold on. I stopped it because what I wanted to point out is that what she's saying is that, you know, you killed the vibe. See, as a host of a podcast, especially a podcast this large, and these people are there for hours. I couldn't believe it when I read about it. These people are there for like 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. I mean, it's nuts how long these people are there. So if you're going to have a podcast this often with this many people there, you're going to run into all types of personalities. And you have to be able to deal with all those personalities in an entertaining way. This is interesting. All right, let's see where this goes. Let me bring it back a little bit so we can see exactly what his comeback's going to be.
precisely what zero accountability looks like. First off, we don't have
Hold on. It's zero accountability. What does that have to do with anything?
It's just like, it's not fun anymore.
Well,
it
this
was
is-
fun going into it.
Are you going to let me respond? Okay, so this is precisely what zero accountability looks like. First off, we don't have the level of rapport for the jokes that you made to be appropriate. in my view. Perhaps you have a different sense of what you can say to somebody that you've never met before and you don't know. The two things you said were, I was talking about the relationship with my ex-girlfriend, and I revealed a couple details. We hadn't lived together. I wasn't like
Bought her dinner once or twice
a couple
in
times,
5 years.
and you said, "Oh, she must be ugly.
I said,
she
was
must be fat."
I said, was she?
Oh,
Well-
that's kind of okay. So I don't see.
Can I say something?
No, hold on. So that's kind of a semantic thing there. You essentially said she must be ugly.
I said, was she ugly? That you
Was
only
she
bought her?
fat? You said.
I said fatty.
Was she a fatty? Okay,
And I stand by that.
that's kind of rude.
It was a joke, by the way. Let's all.
Was it? What was
was
the
a joke.
joke?
If you're dating a girl for 5 years and you only buy her dinner twice in 5 years,
Wouldn't the funny joke be that she's actually thin because she's emaciated because I'm not buying her food?
I think that's funny also.
That could be
That's a
another
funny
joke.
joke.
There you have
I like
it.
that joke.
Yeah.
Wow. Her attitude is pretty unreal. He's trying to come up with his own joke. First of all, it's a joke. It's an opinion. It's an opinion. So the joke is that I didn't take my ex in 5 years out to dinner more than once or twice. Is she fat and ugly? That's the joke. Now he's coming up with some other joke. Shouldn't the joke be that, shouldn't the joke be that if I didn't take her out to dinner for 5 years, that she's emaciated and never eats? I mean, first of all, it's stupid. It's not even funny. She's being kind of kind, saying, yeah, it's funny too. That's funny. But this is crazy. I can't believe how sensitive he is. This is a host that literally has called these girls that are on this podcast whores, prostitutes. You can't cook a meal. You can't do this. You can't do that. I mean, you're brainless. You're dumb. You're idiots. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And someone makes, like, seriously, a little joke about a comment that he made, which was a really stupid comment, by the way. And it's funny because it's like he actually thought that he was being macho by saying, hey, I never took my girlfriend out more than twice in 5 years. Like, you look real stupid. You look stupid right now. That's just, it's not cute. It's not funny. It's not cute. What's funny is her. Let's keep going.
In any case, I don't see how, to me, it seems a little vulgar to call, your ex must be
Vulgar?
ugly and fat.
I'm a very
Where's
vocal
the joke?
person.
But explain the joke to me.
I just explained it. It was
This
funny
is
to
getting like
me.
Goodfellas here. Okay. You think I'm funny? Or what the fuck? Okay. Okay, look. And then the other thing you said was we were talking about a scenario with her where if there's some disrespect or something, you wouldn't expect your guy to protect you in some sort of scenario. And then you're like,
No, what I started off with was, I've never been in a situation like that. Have you? You said no. Everyone else here said no. And I was like, when is this even like a real situation that we get put in? And then I said,
None?
Have you been
Okay.
in a situation like that?
what do you mean?
What? Did I stutter? What do you mean?
Okay.
What did you
Well-
guys
Like,
all
have
get
you?
the question?
What she's saying
Or
is,
am
have
I
you ever been in
delusional?
a situation where
None of you
someone
have
stuttering?
none of you have been witness to a violent situation.
I have.
I have, but I've never been in a situation like that with my partner.
Also, can I speak now?
Is it related to?
Yes.
Okay,
No,
go ahead.
it's not. Yeah. Well, you said you guys don't have the rapport for her to be saying those things to you, but just from my perspective, you were like being accusatory and making presumptions about them as well.
Give me an example.
You were saying you probably don't cook and clean, huh?
Real.
And when I said I don't have a sugar daddy, you looked at me like, "Come on, you don't." So from my
Play it back.
perspective, and I would actually be curious to hear what everyone else thinks. It seems like the same thing.
It's kind of not.
I feel like the
Because-
first
Does
bit with the
anyone
mental
else have
jokes
that
was a
same-
little bit. I
Does
mean, I don't
anyone
know
else
if it was a
have
real
that
conversation happening
It's also
there,
another
but
thing if you're being like rude and interrupt.
She speaks. Hold on. This is the first time I've ever heard her speak.
been happening
It's also
there.
another
But
thing if you're being like rude and interruptive and
Can I say
repetitive.
contract.
I'll hold it.
I'm not saying what.
Go ahead.
Who is she talking to? Is she caping for him or them? What, that girl is purpose. She has no purpose. I don't understand it except that hat.
Were you saying it's rude when people interrupt?
Yeah.
Are you talking to
What?
him or are you talking to us? Because
I don't-
I've watched this
Talking
podcast.
to basically everyone.
Okay, perfect. So we're okay.
I mean, I was just told I wasn't allowed to speak as well, so.
It's
Wait,
because they
what?
were having a conversation, though.
Are we now
You
having?
did ask, so it was a yes or no question. And then he let you talk after.
Okay. Well, my bad then.
Okay.
Wow, he is so thrown off. This is so interesting. I have never seen him like this. He is lost. He doesn't know where to take this. Actually, all of them have taken over. She started it, Blondie. Good comebacks. And his little sidekick that's on every episode, I don't know if that's his girlfriend or what. She didn't really help him with that comment, did she? Because he interrupts everybody all the time.
So,
Are we good?
what do you mean? I don't know. You're the one who
Do we have
kind
a rapport?
of look.
Also, what does rapport have to do with it? It's a podcast. These are conversations. If you can't take the heat, don't dish it out. She said it. The other girl, the dark-haired girl, said it too. You accused me of having a sugar daddy and this and that, and I mean, it's just kind of like rolling off these girls' shoulders. But him, wow, super sensitive.
In my view, you were being rude, and I
That's
told you
your
to stop.
opinion, and I respect that, and I
Okay.
apologize if you think I was rude.
It's not that I think you were rude. You were rude.
That's your opinion.
It's not an opinion.
That's an opinion.
How is that not an opinion? He's lost it.
Was the cooking and
I
cleaning comment
think if you were,
real?
Hot take.
I think questioning whether she doesn't cook or clean for her roster
Questioning
of
whether
10
you
men.
could
And that's
fuck
what
up a
zero
guy if a guy
accountability
came
looks
at you
like.
and your girl. It's just like it's all opinions. Let's all be chill. Let's all have nice debates without getting
But
defensive.
okay, so we can go into the whole like, oh, Brian, and then you said I could
God.
probably take you, Brian.
Because it's
Like,
a joke. Get the joke. Get the bit.
But
Let's move on.
what's the underlying communication that you're trying to say there?
What are you trying to say when you're implying that we can't cook and clean? You don't know us. It's all jokes. We're all just making jokes here for content. Let's all move on. Let's like make our content and have a good time, and without getting so serious and defensive.
There's obviously
We're both in
scales.
this
Can you
business.
stop interrupting? There's obviously scales to it, right? So me questioning whether she cooks or cleans for her roster of 10 men is a little different than you ad hominem attacking my ex-girlfriend for calling
I
her.
didn't attack her. I attacked you. By you not buying, you bought her 2 dinners in 5 years.
No. We're not talking about that. We're talking about you saying that she must be ugly. She must be a fatty.
Roll the clip back. I never said must. I said was she.
It doesn't matter. Go pull up her fucking Instagram right now.
She's a fatty.
No, she was not. That's
Look what the producer did. See, now that's funny. You know she said more than that. That was what she said after she said, was she a fatty? Was she ugly? What? Brian.
you're shifting the
You're in your
goalposts here.
feelings.
Did you say ugly and fatty? That's the set. Forget the
I did,
must
and
or
I stand
maybe.
by that.
Don't you think that's rude to say about
Don't.
somebody?
I think it's a funny joke. And you said the thing about her being.
Would you say that to someone's face?
What do you mean? Say it to her
Would
face.
you say it to a girl's
I'm
face?
saying that to your face. Was your girlfriend an ugly or a fatty?
No.
Why you only bought her 2 meals in 5 years?
What? I don't see the connection between the frequency with which I buy a woman meals and her physical attractiveness and her
One
weight.
thing about me, I make a lot of jokes. So why am I here if I can't crack my jokes? Because I'll fucking leave. Like, it's just like I'm trying to have a good time and you're making it so serious. I like to crack jokes. I want to make jokes. It was a joke. It wasn't meant to be that serious.
Okay.
I'm not going to explain why it was a joke. To me, it's a joke. I say a lot of jokes.
You can't just defend saying, hold on.
I just said I don't.
Wow, wait a minute. He just will not stop. He just goes on and on and on. This girl is trying to move on. She's like, it's a joke, whatever. Okay, whatever, I apologize. Move on. This is nuts.
Enough.
Can you
to
stop
even keep having
interrupting?
this debate.
Can you stop interrupting? You've asked to have a conversation about it.
I know,
Or
but you
have
keep
it- Yo,
dragging
stop,
on.
stop. Can you
the
stop?
fucking
But
same
stop
question.
interrupting.
You
Can
keep
stop?
dragging on the same question.
I'm not dragging on
I
the same
said
question.
It was a joke
Yo,
to me.
I'm asking you to stop interrupting, okay? Allow me to finish my point. I let you speak. Let me finish my point, and then you can come in, okay? So, I fail to see how just attacking someone, I fail to see the joke.
Okay. How many times did I say
I would like to
it's
open
a
it up
joke
to the table.
Me?
But-
To me, it's an opinion. That's my opinion.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'll get to you in a sec. I'll get to you in a sec.
Opinion.
Here's the
Move
thing.
on.
I want to talk
I'm
again.
over it.
Yo,
I said it's a joke to me. That's my opinion.
we'll
We all
talk-
have opinions here. It's America. I'm allowed to make an opinion and make a joke.
Sure.
Thanks.
Sure.
Can we move on?
No. I'm gonna.
No, he says no. He just won't stop. I can't believe this is still going on like this. This is crazy.
Let me. You can't just initiate an argument and then just be like, okay, now we're moving on. It's my show. I'll finish my point and
Make
then
your
we can
point.
move on. But
It's my show. I'll finish my point and then we can move on. This is total narcissist, ugly narcissist. Okay, like I said, all narcissism isn't bad. Having a little narcissist in you isn't always bad. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes we need a little narcissism, right? He is just like in his feelings. He has let his feelings go here. The real soft side of him, the sensitive side of Ryan Atlas is coming out.
you're being really rude now.
I just can't believe he's telling somebody that they're being really rude. This is coming out of his mouth.
I'm not being rude.
Yes, you're trying to dictate the flow of the show on my show. We're gonna continue talking about it. I'm gonna make my point, and then I will.
Take the flow. You
Yo,
asked why.
You need to stop fucking interrupting. Why do you keep interrupting? Chill out. Okay. Jesus Christ. Look,
Oh my gosh, he is out of control. He can't handle himself. He needs to like cut the show off. First of all, it's becoming boring for them. It's boring. It's like how long are you going to continue on with this? This is crazy. Maybe it's her. Maybe it's the one with the hat that he's only taken for dinner twice in 5 years.
I don't like this whole thing of like people saying really mean things about other people and just being like, oh, it's a joke.
He's
If
kidding,
that's
right?
mean to you, then you got to get tougher skin. Because we're on the internet. We get ripped apart to shreds. You got to have tougher
Let me ask the
skin.
girls here at the table. If someone to your face
I
called,
said it about
yo,
your girlfriend.
stop
Then
interrupting.
Don't yell at me or I'm going to
You
go.
keep interrupting. It's
is
very rude. You think it's rude that I'm yelling. You keep interrupting. Stop.
Oh my God.
You've just, you do not have the social grace to just stop interrupting?
What a crazy assumption.
Social
Are you not
grace?
interrupting me? I'd like to ask the girls here at the table. If someone to your face called you ugly, is that a joke?
I would probably just laugh because I know I'm not, but
Is it a joke?
Yeah, I'm not going to take anyone's opinion seriously.
we're all
You're
used
talking
to the
about someone that
trolling.
you don't
so-
even know also.
I mean, why would I take anyone's opinions of my appearance seriously? Like, why would I? And I think that if you do take
that's
it,
not the
if you do it, well, to me, it sounds like that you're expecting us to get hurt over people's opinions of us, and that's just not us. If someone's calling us ugly, I guess we're ugly to them. That's their opinion. It's
Prime
valid.
example of why women get treated like children.
I don't think women get treated like children.
If someone called you ugly,
Weird thing to say.
would you
First of all, just to say that one last girl there, she's right. She's right. It's like he's expecting them to get upset. He wants them to be upset, and they're not. And he's mad about it. It's crazy.
view it as a joke?
I get told that every day on the internet. In my comments.
It doesn't mean
Wait.
Women get treated like children.
if someone called you ugly,
Weird thing to say.
would you view it as a joke?
I get told that every day on the internet. In my comments.
It doesn't mean that
Roll
it's,
back the
Actually,
chat.
today.
Roll back the chat. People have been calling us.
Either way, it's offensive, especially when you're talking about someone that you don't even know.
I don't know. I don't really see it as
Martin
offensive.
donated $100.
If someone like
Street
hits-
blonde, you are curt, confrontational, and you carry your life trauma heavier than your makeup. You're unattractive inside and out. Brian has a podcast to run. You don't recognize masculinity because your father is weak and a failure.
is that just a joke?
that's kind of a joke because her dad is a very nice man and not weak or a failure. I think that's
First of all, that sounds like his producer did that. Okay? That is so corny. That is so corny. Brian has a podcast to run, and Brian has a podcast to run, and you're being very rude, and your makeup is as thick as the whatever. I mean, that is just so stupid. Obviously, his producer wrote that. You know, that reminds me of like the Adam 22 one with the saint and the sinner. And here's Brian. I had no idea you two had beef. Really? Really? This is what I mean. He does all kinds of shady little scandalous things because he's running a podcast and he's trying to get clicks. And now somebody turned the tables on him and he's this uptight.
It's a job.
But would it perhaps be appropriate for someone to be upset at what he said about your father?
Can I be honest? That went in one ear out the other. I'm gonna sleep great at night.
This girl's brilliant.
That shit.
Like, that wouldn't really bother me.
That doesn't bother me because I know who I am. I know who my dad is. That shit doesn't bother me. I'm a very secure person. Thank you. And I like wearing makeup. So
You got to give it to her.
I feel like since we're all subjecting ourselves to this and criticism, we should have like the wherewithal to not like take it offensively or to heart. And also, a question, you're getting really defensive over this. So was she ugly or a fatty? Because was that just wondering?
I think you already specified no.
Come on. You got to give it to her because that was really, really funny. I mean, come on. She's a little strange, but she's making sense. Even she's making sense. You know, one thing I want to point out is that the world has changed. The world has changed. It's like you can, you know, people can call people the nastiest, cruelest, you know, untrue things. And people have tougher skin today. That's what the internet has done, which is shocking that since this guy, Ryan Atlas, runs a podcast that basically brings girls in to make fun of them, basically, that he can't take it when one of them threw a little joke back at him. Very interesting. Very interesting that the girls have tougher skin than he does.
I've repeatedly said she wasn't. Go ahead.
I tried to move on from this.
Let's get a picture.
5 minutes ago.
Can we get a picture?
I tried to move on from this topic. I said, let this topic go 5 minutes
It's
ago.
not your podcast.
Then
But
I'm done talking.
It should be.
There's no point in being meta about it. No, I said meta. We've already discussed it.
Here we go with the big words.
You think it's a joke? I don't. That's the end of story.
Agree to disagree.
So we can move on. That's what I think is best. In any case, though, I fail to see how it's a joke, and I'll leave it at that. You think it's perfectly within the normal social graces to just call people fat and ugly. If that's your standard of conduct, then I suppose that's your standard of conduct, but it's not mine. And perhaps it seems like the other girls at the table here who want to defend her also think it's a normal standard of conduct to just call people who you don't know ugly and fatties. I think you're really just desiring to defend her because she's on your team. I actually don't think that that's your standard. I think that's bullshit. Anyways, we're going to move on.
That's what zero accountability looks like.
What do you mean zero accountability?
Said like you can't see in any type of way, like even a sliver of her perspective.
What do you mean?
All of a sudden, he doesn't know anything. What do you mean? I mean, first of all, what he's saying is just so incredibly dumb. This is what he does on every podcast. What is he talking about?
Sorry. Like, you are choosing to think that she's just doing that and saying that because it fits your narrative instead of actually listening to her and taking what she says as what she says. Because she's not agreeing with you.
I find it incredibly difficult to believe that you or most women would think that it's just a joke to call a woman ugly or a fatty. I'm sorry if I'm a bit skeptical of the assertion that that's just like within the normal social.
Well, do you think we're operating right now in a normal social like way? This is.
I think it's.
We're not all at a bar where
we are called ugly and fat on the internet every single day, so you kind of just have to get over it.
If you really took that as being dead serious, then I'm gonna leave. If you don't understand that that was a fucking joke, if we can play the clip back, that was a joke, I said
that was one of the
manner.
things.
So I'm saying it's like if you literally and you don't understand that when I said that it was a fucking joke, and if you don't get that, then I'm out. Like if you like this is like I can't have this conversation anymore. It's so fucking stupid.
I think we're just like a little desensitized because it's like people call us some crazy shit on the internet, like every single day. Like people have said some really mean things. And like at first, yes, it bothers you.
Yes, the internet is toxic. Right now though, we're face to face. Shit that people will say anonymously on the internet would never fucking fly in person. And you know that.
Like saying that I took my girlfriend out to dinner 2 times in 5 years. Okay, Ryan.
I mean, if we were like in a full-on argument and like you called me ugly or fat, yeah. But if you just like jokingly were like, yeah, you're ugly and fat, I wouldn't even like think twice about it, just because it's like, I don't know. I don't really.
I fail to see what the joke is though. That's where I'm still stuck. I fail to see.
Really?
Like usually in a joke, there's a punchline. There's some like I'm failing to see the joke.
Well, like there's different perspectives of like.
He's giving the definition of jokes now.
I can't, for example, if I just walked up to if I walked up to a random woman in the street and I just said, "You're ugly and a fatty."
Who would do
just
that?
joking, just fucking joking.
I would think.
Hold on. But this is not a random person in the street. You're on a podcast. This is a conversation. It's a debate. You're in conversation. What is he talking about? He is lost.
Can I explain her joke? Because I think I understand it, and that's your problem. No one's explaining this joke to you in the way you can clarify it.
Different people have different senses of humor. So
But that's
it's like,
not my sense of humor. What I made, I wouldn't go up to a random woman and call her ugly or fat. That's not funny to me. That wasn't the joke. That wasn't the bit.
So calling a woman who you don't know.
I never said that.
In my opinion,
I never said that.
Never said what?
Someone came up to me and said, "You're fat and ugly," and said I was just joking, I would think that was funny. Just because, like, what are you even talking about?
Even if they weren't joking,
Okay.
I
Like, I would think that was kind of funny because, like,
But
where are you
most
coming
people
from?
wouldn't. But most people
I would
wouldn't.
say most people wouldn't,
Most
yeah.
people wouldn't.
I agree.
Okay. Did you want to explain it?
Yeah, I'll explain it to you. So your guys' whole conversation literally was like, how you took her out to eat like twice or whatever, like whatever. And then she said that was the joke. So when you connect it and you want to go deeper into it, you're placing like, typically in our society, men who are proud, like men who have women, they're going out spending lunch, like going out to dinner all the time. So if you're only going like once or twice, not a lot, then of course it's going to be like, so why isn't
There's the producer again sending a little super chat to interrupt the flow of his embarrassment.
Oh, you're interrupting, bro.
Intentionally or not, a healthy, mature person would have apologized, joke or not.
I apologize that you thought I was being rude. So, did I not?
Yeah, but
Thank
when you
you.
say that, you're apologizing for his actions, not your own.
What?
I'm sorry. It's like I'm
sorry
you're
that you
offended.
feel that way.
It's not really an apology. I don't need an apology. But the subsequent comment was like, "Oh, Brian, you think you'd be able to take a guy? Oh, I'd probably fuck you up." It's just like, okay, bro. It's
like, well, what does he want? They've apologized. They said it was a joke. I mean, what do you want? It's how long? I think he wants the podcast to end because he just, nothing suffices him. It's ridiculous.
Again, I don't think we have that level of rapport.
What rapport?
That's
it's a
it.
podcast.
Anyways, the TTS interrupted you. Did you want to continue?
I'm all good.
They're
She
so
was
bored.
saying if you have only taken the woman out like 2 times and you don't want to show her off, she was asking like, maybe is she ugly or fat, like to you? Like maybe she wasn't. She was asking like, is she ugly or fat because you haven't taken her out, I guess.
Because
I think that's what you were.
I've had this conversation with multiple women before, and they go up to the other guys, and they're like, "Well, have you taken her out to dinner?" Like, "Oh, once or twice," and they're like, "Well, is she ugly? Like, why aren't you taking her out more?"
It's like
this is a normal conversation that men have, like, and that I've been a part of.
Yeah.
So like,
It's like a common stereotype.
yeah, exactly.
So
Like
I think that's where you get to the joke. I see what you're saying.
that's where you get to the joke. So if you're not understanding that part, then of course you're gonna get offended. You know.
So the joke is that because she could be unattractive, that I don't want to be seen in public with her. Is that?
I think so.
The joke is that like men kind of
Men.
say that and like
think that
men
was-
have that.
Come on, as if he didn't get the joke. Okay, first of all, what's going on here is that his ego is bruised because this girl is actually funnier than he is. She's taken over the podcast. It's like when you're watching a movie or you go to a play on Broadway and the supporting role takes the whole show over. And the leading actress doesn't get the standing ovation, but the supporting actress does. That's what's happening here with him. Actually, let's see what some of the comments are on this. All right. We've got some comments printed out here. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here's one. He's angry with her because she called him out for being a lousy boyfriend. Makes sense. That's what it seems like, right? She says, that's what this is about. So he ends up bullying her for 20 minutes straight, then involving the other girls to back him up to do the same thing. He definitely sounds like a narcissist. Didn't I kind of say that, his narcissism is getting a little out of control here? I mean, that's what it seems like. That's one comment. Let's see another one. He definitely missed that whole point or avoided it. I hate when guys brag about not doing anything for a woman, especially if she was special to him. He has all these standards. He has all these standards, but gives the bare minimum. And he has definitely insinuated, if not said, that some of his guests are less than ... Real sensitive here. Let's read one more comment. Try for the unpopular opinion. Okay. Oh, wait, here's one more. I think Brian is offended because he cares about his ex. He is so mean to the guests, but when it's a woman he cares about, he is protective. Really? Let's see where this ends.
Yeah. I've heard men talking about it too. I know what you're saying.
Same. I've been in those conversations where men
It's like, oh, she must be fat or ugly.
and I've been in like position of like, well, why? What? That doesn't make sense to me. And they're like, well, we like to like show off our girls, whatever.
Yeah.
Like the more, if they're prettier or whatever, they'll spend more money on them. They'll take them out more. They want to show them off. They want to make sure all the other men know who they're tapping and all that stuff. So if you're like not going out in public, you're not showering with her, all this stuff, there's gonna be a little like, so what's going on? Like, is he not like,
Attracted to her.
is she not that attracted? Is he not that attracted? Like, it's gonna be something. There's gonna be a little thing to think about.
Okay, so that's one component of it. Truthfully, though, the big blow up that occurred happened after the comment about
Was it the-
fighting. Yeah.
I think that was just
So
misunderstood.
honestly, I kind of glanced to some degree over the ugly and fatty comment.
Okay, so here's my take. Ryan is a lot more sensitive than we thought. It seems that he can dish it out, but he can't take it. Now, as far as Blondie is concerned, maybe she's born with it, or maybe it's just the club life. I'm Debrava. See you next time.